Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Fan on in the window, 2 fans out the hallway right now. Later on, 1 propping the door open. Supposed to get in the low 80s today. Yay, we're lucky here in the Pacific Northwest. We're not under the heat dome that's affecting like 100 million United States citizens right now. We're lucky up here. Yay. Hopefully your day isn't going to be too bad. Oh boy. Still though, it is a brand new day, and I didn't do much yesterday. I wish I had, but it was one of those times when it was just, I had no energy, I had to do stuff, but I couldn't go out walkies because it was so early, and I didn't want to be sleeping in my chair, so I went and I took my afternoon shower instead of doing it at night like I usually do. But I have been, my hair probably looks silly and is going to end up that way. I mean, you can't really tell now because of how silver my hair is and how reflective it is, but I have been keeping it trimmed to like 1/4 of an inch here and down below on this side. In the back it's like 1/2 inch, and lately, usually I cut this to like 3/4. I've been letting it grow, so I haven't trimmed it down yet. If you're wondering what that'll look like, take a look at Gary Oldman on the old Fifth Element movie. Just Google Gary Oldman Fifth Element, where he's got a plastic thing on the side of his head and the hair going down long and all that on this side. Yeah, it's kind of like that, so yay. I mean, it's not totally. You can see lots of things about that, even characters back in the old Venture Brothers cartoon. One of the characters there has that kind of haircut, so yay. Which, speaking really quickly about Venture Brothers, I don't know if you've ever watched Venture Brothers or ever heard of the Venture Brothers on Cartoon Network. It's been canceled, but it went for like 7 seasons, and it was really, really good. It takes place in a superhero type universe where superhero stuff happens. Main character, quote unquote, is Thaddeus Rusty Venture, who's a loser, but the rest of their family has been really, really super good, and they're expected to be super good, but they're not. And he also has 2 children who are the Venture Brothers, Hank and Dean. It's not their fault, but they are freaking idiots. Rusty has been a monster of a human being, and it's just, he hasn't been deliberately a monster, he's just a loser mindset, and so he does things that aren't what non-losers would do. And so it's just been bad stuff. But he gets a bodyguard, Brock Sampson, who's a very good character, voiced by Patrick Warburton? I can't remember how to pronounce his name. He does Joe Samson, whatever the hell his name is, Joe on Family Guy and all that. But he's the bodyguard and just falls in love with the family. They become his proxy family, the 2 kids. He becomes like their proxy father. But in the last... The series ends before it can really go far, but then they're coming out with a direct-to-video movie where it's going to be like what would have happened in the 8th and final season, so hey, there's going to at least be some kind of wrap-up, and that's good. So definitely a thumbs up on that. So if you're into the Venture Brothers, I just thought I'd mention that. Very, very good stuff, very silly. But over on the side here, because of yesterday, I don't have a lot that I did. I did my vlogging in the morning, and then I did a whole bunch of trying not to fall asleep. And then I did some recording, editing, and then while it was rendering, I went and took a shower. And then when I got back, I just didn't go for a walk. So went to bed around midnight-ish and didn't really get anything done, and not really too happy about that, but life is life. Yay. Could be worse. I tried to call the Social Security people yesterday to see if they got my paperwork. I first called them on my landline. I was on hold so long, the battery died. So I had to go charge the landline phone. got my cell phone. I was on so long, that phone died. Now, be fair, that was not at a full charge, but still, point being, I tried to call them and both of my phones died while I was trying to get in contact with them. I was on hold for so long. So I gotta call them on Monday, hopefully. Hopefully things work. And of course, I have had a lot of extra pain, not nerve pain, but a lot of extra pain on this side, and oh, this shoulder's really hurting me too this morning. So I got a lot of muscle pain, and that's joyous. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot today, and I do need to be more careful. I've been being very, very careful of this side, but not too careful of this side. And I do need to be more careful here because it's getting blocked on both sides, and it's just been irritation that's gotten this side going. I would hate to have this side have the same issues as well. So, yay! So that part's fun. Still though, I mean, hopefully your nerves work. If you ever feel in your ulnar, which is the one goes to your funny bone that runs down more along the bottom of your arm, and then of course goes right through here, and then goes and does stuff. Your radial runs sideways through the arm and then comes in and does things. That's the one that was been so much trouble because I'd severed it before, where it had been just a line of fire all the way down to this knuckle. It's been fun. Now the other thing is there's a game that I want to play when it comes out, and I am actually interested in this one. I don't normally play mascot horror type stuff. In fact, I never really have. Mascot horror, of course, being, the FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, anything with a mascot. And I talked about how there was Garden of Banban, and how they've done 3 games, and they're terrible, and they're coming out with a 4th, and it's undoubtedly going to be awful. But while the games are awful and the stories are terrible and the way they're written and told is just horrific, there's enough inside of it that people are actually halfway invested in seeing what's coming up, just to see what the Euphoric brothers are going to be doing. So there's that. But this one fellow, UniqueGeese, after being offended by Garden of Banban, he gave himself 1 week, and during that 1 week time, he talked to people. They made him art assets. He got art assets through Blender. He purchased assets from various stores, and then used Unreal 5 and taught himself how to program and render and do all this stuff. And in 1 week, he made a far better game than any of the Garden of Banban games. But because he had called it like Garden of Banban Revisited or something like that, he's using a name that he shouldn't. And while they're fan games, they weren't totally thrilled that this came out just to show them up. So he's been going through and rebranding and doing other things, which, if you look up for the announcement trailer for Indigo Park, this is the game that he's going to be coming out with. And this is mascot horror, but it seems a bit more interesting. One of the things I have an issue with mascot horror, the Five Nights at Freddy ones, I can sort of go with that because there are places that are open. There's horrific things happening, places are closing, places are opening. There's not just one place where everything is happening, and so it's like, here's this big mystery thing, no one knows what's happening, but it's still happening here, which is not altogether that realistic, and it's treated just a bit more realistically with place to place to place to place. I can kind of go with that mascot horror type. The ones that bug me are like, there's Poppy's Playtime, which has come out with like 2 games so far, and they're coming out with a 3rd. Other games like that, where, especially like Poppy's Playtime, it's supposed to have been like 10 years, and everybody in the factory just vanished, and so they've just closed it and it's been abandoned. people aren't really like that. We tend to throw rescuers at stuff until more people will die on the rescuing side than the people that we're trying to rescue. If all these factory workers vanished in the factory, there would be a bunch of stuff descending on that factory. And if weird things happen inside of it, more people would be thrown at it. Until you would have like military stuff going in. Humanity we're very, very good at white blood cell and stuff like that. Take a look at whenever there's something horrific happens to somebody. We throw rescuers at these places and rescuers die until it can be more dangerous for everyone else than it has been for the people trying to be rescued. But we still do it. Places where a lot of people have vanished, and it's known that people have vanished, and it's just there but it's boarded up, I can't see that happening. So it doesn't pass my level of, suspension of disbelief. I can't see hundreds of people, even tens of people vanishing inside of a factory or a place, and then, well, they just throw up a couple boards over the doors and let it go. No. Something would happen. Now, we do have abandoned places everywhere, even abandoned parks. People don't vanish in them. Or if they do, it's like, oh, there's one murder, one kidnapping, something like that. Not tens or hundreds. So if a place actually gets abandoned because, oh, it's just abandoned, or say something bad did happen, but it was just that bad thing, not a huge lot of people vanished and so they just slapped some boards over the doors. No, if something horrific happened, but it was an isolated thing, but it's not safe, so they shut things down, yeah, that I can go with. Indigo Park starts off with like a bouncy mascot thing on a screen talking about how Indigo Park was so good, and then it glitches out and it starts pulling back away from the monitor, and the like rambly raccoon is the mascot saying, hey, you're the first visitor in 2,920 days, and blah 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 blah, and it keeps pulling back and it's just abandoned. So Indigo Park has been abandoned. We have, just in the United States alone, not even counting the rest of the world, a lot of abandoned parks. So, if something happens in the park that is not going to attract attention to itself, that I can see. Power going on inside of a place where it's not immediately obvious in the outside world? Yeah, because power on in an abandoned park, you're going to have authorities there. And if authorities start having problems, there's going to be more authorities thrown at it until we have just surrounded the whole place under lights and stuff, and they're sending in teams with high-powered weaponry and stuff. So, if it's just minor, a couple people here and there, there's a little bit of danger, that's okay. And Indigo Park, hopefully, is going to be that. That's what it looks like. Thumbs up. And then I also watch this channel, Charlatan Wonder. He does a lot of reviews of especially MSims, immersive simulations, survival horror stuff. There has been, in the past, there was the demo for the game My Friendly Neighborhood, done by the brother Shemansky. Started off, well, Dave Shemansky does Dusk and a whole bunch of other things that he has done, and then New Blood Interactive. His brother, I can't remember his name, something Shemansky, started off doing this thing, and then David started helping, so the brother Shemansky have come out with My Friendly Neighborhood, which is mascot survival horror. It seems like it's just a regular mascot horror thing, but it's more akin to like Resident Evil 8, where you have very limited ammunition, and you gotta hunt it down. And when you want to save your game, you need tokens, and they are specific tokens, and there are a very limited number of these, so you can't just say willy-nilly. it is like true survival horror, and that's a very, very good thing. So My Friendly Neighborhood, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Anything else on my list here? Checking my time. I have been doing the game Daggerfall with some mods on it now. I'm going to start in English again. I've been playing the game Daggerfall for the channel using Daggerfall Unity, which is using a modern engine to run the older assets, and it's a source port, reverse engineered, and it works great. And you can add all sorts of mods to it, and so I've added mods here, there, and other. I went and joined a temple, which is good. I mean, it's fine. And then I went out and started adventuring. I've been poisoned. It's hard to find cure poison potions. Just about every temple, and there are like 10 different gods in the game, all but 2 of them, you can get cure poison stuff from them. Guess which one I joined? The one that doesn't give you cure poison. And so I'm taking attribute damage from this, and it's going to be permanent attribute damage. And so I've got to somehow find myself a cure poison potion, because otherwise I'm just hosed like a Christmas monkey. So, yay. It's a good game though. Very, very fun. Anything else on my list? I mean, there's a ton on my list of stuff that I want to talk about, various things. I have been working still, trying to be as creative as possible on my whole setting and stuff. I have talked before how the first chapter is going to be a real quick sort of in media res without being in media res, where it starts off with one person who's on a motorcycle. They've had a good night out with family and friends, and now they're going home on a motorcycle in Apple Rock that they had spent time gathering up capital to order and purchase from on the outside, went out, transported, used the glamours, rode it back on the inside, very proud of this motorcycle, and just traveling along trying to get home. It's like 12:45 at night. And then a couple quick jumps into other places like Abernathy, where they've gotten email from the King and Crimson themselves, where yes, they've gotten a contract, an e-contract to provide food for the Crimson Kingdom. And then there's another thing that I can't remember exactly what happened, so I gotta remember there, oh boy. But then this first chapter ends with Gordo not being in good shape because the kaiju has been torturing him so that he will come up and bleed on the kaiju so it can go down and rampage. Does the kaiju need to do this? No. It's the equivalent of just doing a crossword puzzle. Just a couple little things to keep things interesting, and then another rampage. But of course, Gordo, who's, well, dying, and just begging and blubbering, saying, please just let me die and stop hurting me. Please, I'm sorry I tried to live. I'm sorry I tried to live. And then bleeds on the kaiju, at which point, down in the city, the first of the mega cannons underneath the city goes off, at which point the other 4, and then those places are setting things on fire. Those 5 places that explode, they stay burning for a long time. There are natural gas deposits that are just burning underneath there. So there's 5 huge pits that are just continuously burning under the city now. Yay. But during all that, the explosions start, and then the kaiju starts down into the city to start rampaging and just eating on the Night of Terror, CE 1114. Common Era 1114. 1,114 years after the King in Crimson both broke ground and founded the Crimson Kingdom, and declared that Common Era 0. So thumbs up, yay! And of course, I would like to thank each and every person who has donated any sort of money to me. These are more people who are Patreon patrons, beautiful and awesome people. Without these beautiful and awesome people who help me survive, I would be hosed like a literal Christmas monkey. So thank you, each and every person that is a patron. I also have people that have in the past donated to my PayPal, which is a thing if you'd like to donate to that. And of course my GoFundMe to try and help me not die homelessly, because the time when I can't live here is approaching really fast. It's like 2 months away at the very latest. Oh boy! So thank you each and every person that has helped me out. It is appreciated. And I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through it and thank how many people left me comments, which is, you know, not an incredible amount, but at least it's some. I'm trying to expand the page so I can actually see. Oh, excuse me. Jesse Koskinen, always good to see you in the comments. Thank you very, very much. It's Roulette. Oh boy, the heat is wonderful, isn't it? Yay! And then of course we have Lumeria. Thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And I do appreciate your comments, and I enjoy playing Daggerfall very much. We have Chris Ryan, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And I do my best to try and be humorous, while not also just being I'm not a Markiplier or Jacksepticeye where they used to be. I'm not wild and crazy. I'm just laid back and dry. So I'm glad people do appreciate it. There is Bravo, thumbs up, and thank you. We have 77 Arcturus, greatly appreciated. And RJ Mitchell, always good to see you in the comments. Definitely a thumbs up, and that is it. Thank you each and every person that left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's never many anymore, but anything more than 0 is appreciated. I get a lot of no comments on my Daggerfall videos. Yay. I get a lot of a negative amount. Which, of course, is a contradiction in terms, which is why I said it, which is why it made me laugh. So, it is Saturday? It is Saturday. I'm going to take it easy today. I'm going to be doing my exercising, taking my walkies. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I need to start doing upper body exercises as best I can. As you get older, there are 2 types of twitch fibers in your muscles, fast and slow twitch fibers. The fast twitch fibers, you lose a lot and quickly as you age. These are like your bulk muscles. So you need to do a lot of hard resistance stuff as you get older to keep those fast twitch fibers from going away. Thumbs up. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. And then to turn this on, and yeah, so you take care, and I will see you. Yay, I am a professional.